Thanks for stopping by. This is Kevin with Walker's Adventures. Hey everybody, this is part 2 to our series, Gate Gardening in the Oil Field in South Texas. So let's get right into the video. You can see the oil rig right over my head, which is pretty cool. I forgot to go over dress code last week. For men, you've got to wear sleeve short. Can't have no muscle t-shirts, no cut-offs. You can wear shorts as long as they're down about your knees. You can wear tennis shoes, just hiking. You also want a hat so you can keep the sun out of your eyes because it gets pretty hot out here. For the women, same thing with them, no cut-off t-shirts. They got to have sleeves on their short. They can wear shorts about knee length. However, no spandex, no cut-offs, nothing like that. This is a screenshot from Facebook that shows you that they have jobs everywhere on it. Check it out. That's the dress code for a normal gate. However, if you're on a site that you're right on the site that you have to wear fire retardant clothing, that is, you got to wear a long sleeve short that's made for fireproof, blue jeans, probably a hard hat, safety glasses, just like they wear on the rig when you're that close, if you're right on site. Next, let's talk about the types of gates there is. There's a 24-hour gate, which is just like it sounds. You cover the gate 24 hours a day. That is a team gate where you and your wife, or you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, it's a two-person team, mans that gate for 24 hours a day. They don't care how you man it, just as long as somebody is always at the gate 24 hours a day. The next type of gate they have is what they call a day gate, which the gate is only open from like 7 in the morning till 7 at night. So when they leave, they lock the gate so nobody can gain entry. Then you also got what they call a lay-down yard, where you could actually be a gate guard, where you check in people that comes to a business where all the equipment is stored at. So you could do that. Let's see, what other kind of gates you got? You got the pipeline, where they're doing the pipeline now. Lots of times that's like a single, which is a 12-hour gate where you cover it for 12 hours, and you got to pay for your own off-site camp rent as well for wherever you park your RV or wherever you live at. Then you got the oil drilling rig where you sit on the drilling rig, which is what we're doing right now. That's a 24-hour gate, and you check in all the traffic coming in and out, just going to the rig. Then last but not least, the type of gate they got is called a frac gate. Now usually a frac gate pays you extra, however they are very busy. Like right now on our gate, the other day we had 73 people in 24 hours check in and out. So we had about 35 people that came in and went back out. On a frac site, you might have 600 people in a day's time. So it gets very busy, and lots of times they only pay you, like if the gate, they'll pay you like $175, maybe $200. But however, I like to think when it comes to gates, I get paid the same whether I'm busy or whether I'm slow. So for me, I'd rather be slow. Well, you can see the water still back there on the road in the distance. It'll drop soon enough though. Something else people ask me is, how long do you walk on a 24-hour gate as far as hours in a day? No, contrary to popular belief, you do not walk 24 hours a day. The other day we had 73 people that checked in a 24-hour period. It takes us about a minute to check somebody in and ask them all the questions that we have to ask them. So if you figure a minute times 73 people, that means that we walked a whole whopping hour and 13 minutes the other day. which is pretty slow. This is about the slowest gate we have been on. But we do like falling with the rig because they, back when they had COVID-19, they was feeding us every night. They bring in food so we did not have to leave. And lots of the other people that works on the rig will ask us when they go out, hey, you want us to bring you a hamburger, or you want us to bring you something? They bring us breakfast occasionally. So there is benefits to working in the oil field other than just pay. And while I'm thinking about it, that's the road right there. You can see how it's got ruts in it. I was out here walking down, so it kind of shows you that the road, when it rains a lot with all these 18-wheelers, it don't take long for them to get pretty bad. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notifications so every time we get a new video out, you will know and you can watch our videos. I decided I'd just sit down and rest a little bit, get tired of walking out there in the hot Texas sun. Now let's talk about getting your license. The only thing it takes to get your license is, number one, you need to find the company you're going to go with. And with that, you can watch my previous video, and I'll probably put them back in this video as well. The phone numbers for guard companies, because they will help you pay for like your license itself. I think we had to pay for the 6-hour course that we took online through Texas A&M University. They do a background check, which I think that the company you decide to work for paid for as well. So you need to pick which guard company you're gonna work for and call them, and they will tell you, set up your appointment to do your fingerprints and everything, and then once you take your online course, you will send them proof that you passed the test, because it's like a test at the end of it, which is fairly easy. I mean, I think I had to take it twice though. I must have been slow. But you know, it's really easy to do. Then after you do that, the company will say, okay, well, so you got your license now, and you ain't got to wait for your license to come in the mail. They will actually put you to work as soon as that you send them proof that you passed the class. You have to add them on your license that you work for them, and you can have up to 3 on your license at any given time. And one thing about the guard companies, don't get too stuck on one particular company, because we've been out here gate guarding for a year plus now, and we have already worked for 2 different companies. If the companies don't have a gate, we will call other gate guard companies and see if they have a gate that we can go to. So it's pretty much like supply and demand. Just because your company that you're working for don't have a gate, don't mean that somebody else don't have a gate. And they also have a bunch of gate guard groups on Facebook where they post all these jobs at. So I think one's like RV, gate guarding, and lifestyle or something like that. Just type in gate guarding on Facebook and it will pull up the pages for you. That's a good tool to have, because you can see that they post several jobs all the time, especially in the summertime when it's so hot down here. Lots of people does not want to do this in the summertime. We did it last August, and we had several days that it was 120 degrees plus. So if you don't have 2 AC units on your RV, you ain't gonna like the winter or the summer in South Texas. Let's talk about pay now. Pay is usually $150 or $175. However, depending on the company, some gates will pay $200, $225, $250 if they're having a hard time filling that particular gate. But for the most part, you can just about guarantee it's going to be $150 or $175. Which, you know, that's per day if you're a team. So in a week's time, you're making $1,050, which is good. You know, because you're a 1099 employee. You don't get no taxes taken out. They provide everything, the fuel for the generator. You know, wherever you park your RV at, you ain't got to pay for none of that. Being an RV team, you know, they provide everything. Let's talk about the pros of gate guarding. Number one, you get to work with your significant other all the time, which I really enjoy because we've done that for about 25 years. We've always worked together. Another thing is the pay. The pay is good for the amount of work you're doing. You know, $1,050 a week is good money. You know, so that's $500 a person. So that's definitely a pro. And also, another pro is job security, because you got plenty of gates. Now, granted, some of the gates may only last for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Some may last a year. Whereas on one that lasted 7 months. So, you know, but there's always more gates than there is gate guards, especially in the summertime, because in the summertime nobody wants to be out here. So let's talk about some cons. Some cons is that you and your wife don't get to sleep together, you know, because somebody always has to be awake at the gate. So that means that I'm sleeping for 8 hours, she's sleeping for 8 hours, and the other 8 hours we're up together. Another con is if the closer you get to Laredo, to Rio Grande, the Border Patrol issue gets real bad. There's on one ranch that they probably average getting probably 10 or 20 illegals a day. And that ranch was 15 miles from the border. And they was walking on foot. Some of them got lost for days on this ranch. It was 58,000 acres. So that's definitely a con on that. Another con is that you are not close to anything. In order to get to small crossroad towns, you're probably looking at 30 minutes. If you want to get to a Walmart where we're at now, it's about 45 minutes from where we're at right this minute. One way, and the other way, it's about an hour. So you ain't gonna just go grab something and be back, because you're at least looking at being gone an hour. Another thing is how bad the roads get. And also, because you can see your RV is right here beside the road, right there. Every time an 18-wheeler comes in, you got a bunch of dust. So when you open the door, all the dust has to go somewhere. So lots of times it goes in your RV and real dust and sweep 3 or 4 times a day, just from all the dust. You know, another thing is not being able to go out to dinner with your wife or significant other, or just going out to see a movie. You ain't having date night. You know, so there's definitely some cons. But then again, we just got back off of a vacation, and can you believe this? We was on vacation for 8 weeks to the day, and we actually slept in 11 different states in 8 weeks. I mean, so there's definitely some good things and some bad things about this. You just got to find out if it's best for you or not. Well, you see, I got my sun hat on now. That helps out a whole lot. One thing I've got to tell you about the dust in the roads, the company does send out a water truck to water down the roads. And it puts out such a big stream, or sprays the road so good that if it goes down one time, it will spray the whole road down. However, what's funny is if they only go down it once, you go out there with the water's on the road and you kick it with your shoe, and everything underneath it is dust. And it don't take within about 3 hours, all the water has dried up. But that still helps a whole lot. And we're not usually that close to the ranch owner. He's right there above my head. That's his house back there in the background. Real nice people. Lots of the people you meet out here is very nice. You don't hardly meet any rude people. Did I tell you out here in South Texas it gets hot? I mean, it's already, what is it, June, the 1st of June, and the temperature has already hit 98 degrees. So it gets very warm very quickly out here. This is a list of some of the gate guard companies you can call and get you started so you can come out here and start gate guarding. Well, I think that's probably it for today. This is Kevin with Walker's Adventures. We're so glad that you watched this video. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification button so every time we put out a new video, you can watch it. God bless.